Maya Angelou once said, "Be present in all things and thankful for all things." And I believe my guest endorses that as well. She is grateful for her glorious journey, and I'm sure so are her fans. Welcome to Baatein and Kahin with Chitrangda Singh. Even before we start talking about your journey, there's a small surprise for you. But before that, I'll ask you a question. When I say Nimbus Office Delhi, does it ring a bell?
Nimbus Office Delhi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does?
it does.
Then let's do the surprise first and then we'll talk more on that.
But it's too many years back, okay?
Okay. Let's go.
Hey Chitrangda, this is a surprise call for you. मैं स्वानंद बोल रहा हूँ. मुझे याद है पहली बार मैं तुमसे कब मिला था. निम्बस का ऑफिस था दिल्ली में और यस मतलब ऐसा कहते हैं कि मैंने दिल्ली में तुम्हारा ऑडिशन पहली बार किया था. उस समय कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर्स तो होते नहीं थे, मैं असिस्टेंट ही था, मैं ही सब करता था. तो मुझे याद है कि मैंने तुम्हारा पहला the moment you entered the Nimbus office, I had SMS Sudhir that I think we have got our Geeta Rao and जब फिर तुम्हारा ऑडियो टेप रातों रात कुरियर किया था. उस ज़माने में कुरियर करना पड़ता था, इंटरनेट इतना अपलोड नहीं होता था. तो वो चला गया और उसके बाद तो रेस्ट इज़ हिस्ट्री. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर आई केम टू योर हाउस टू टेल यू द स्क्रिप्ट एंड then many things happened. Film happened, Bhopal happened, songs happened. I became a lyric writer in the same film, and Hazaaron Khwaishein is very, very special. And so is this journey. All the best. You are doing great and hope you are doing fine. Thank you. Swanand this side. Bye bye.
स्वानंद का फेवरेट लाइन थी, रायता फैला हुआ है, रायता फैला हुआ है, बिकॉज उसकी भी फर्स्ट फिल्म थी.
Correct.
So we all were going crazy with Hazaaron because everything was shot outdoors and we were all on a tight budget.
Yeah.
So you know how a small film go, if you want to shoot outdoors, and French cameraman, French sound recorders जिसको हिंदी बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आती थी. So to tell them what's happening in the scene in the middle of the whole madness and light जा रही है, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. So it was just like crazy, and like he said, you know, आप तुमको तो पता ही है, Bhopal happened. So I know what happened in Bhopal. But yeah, Swanand is the man.
What happened in Bhopal?
The film happened in Bhopal. तो ये जितना भी जो रायता फैला था, जो every day, so his job was to pick me up in the morning and, you know, like take me and, you know, like basically he was in the car because everything was on location. तो सब कुछ like at least आधा घंटा दूर है या एक घंटा दूर है या whatever, you know. So he was the one who was with me the whole time. And जो उन्होंने नहीं बताया इसमें वो ये है कि स्वानंद is from NST. He's a trained actor. और मैंने कभी अपनी लाइफ में फिल्म कैमरा नहीं देखा था. So when I got selected for the role, then Sudhir sent me for he said कि ठीक है, मतलब acting आती है, expression है, natural है, जो भी है, but she has to have some sense of acting, you know. Like I can't just take. He was very cautious, so he sent me for I think 10-day class for मतलब like acting classes with Barry John. So I mean he's the best, you know, that you can think of. So Barry John took me in and he gave me like a special class, like, and he said मैं अकेले नहीं सिखा, I have to have somebody with her. So Swanand was told कि तुम जाओ इसके साथ, तुमको करनी पड़ेगी 10 दिन की class. And I was feeling so bad for him because it's, you know, like there are a lot of these exercises, acting exercises that they do, जिसमें आपको साथ में एक चाहिए partner. For dialogue, for whatever, for situation that Barry would give us, you know. तो अकेले तो आप कर नहीं सकते हैं. And they didn't just want some student to come. So they said, नहीं, I will send Swanand. So Swanand was also those 10 days बेचारा मेरे साथ. He had to sit through all the classes with me. In fact, very nice of him. उन्होंने बोला नहीं. जो पहला मेरा टेस्ट था, जो ऑडिशन था, वो बहुत ख़राब था.
अच्छा.
बहुत ख़राब था. So what had actually happened was that when he sent it, Sudhir said कि नहीं, इसको तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है. तुम कैसे बोल रहे हो कि नहीं, just give me one more day, just give me, let me call her back to the audition. I'm telling you, I have found the girl. Because उससे पहले वो काफ़ी auditions कर, I think they went to Bangalore also, they went of course Mumbai and Calcutta, they went to Calcutta also and auditioned some people. So So then he called me back and I said, nahi hoga. And the scene, I don't know if you've seen Hazaaron.
I have, of course.
So they were giving me pretty tough scenes जिसमें एक तो वो था जब वो अपने बच्चे को देखती है first time, you know, and not first time, मतलब एक वो अपने बच्चे को देती है and she has this moment with, and then there is this scene with my husband in the film Ram, where he forces himself on her and she says that, you know, now you made it easy for me to walk away. So ये tough scenes है for a non-actor, you know, आपने सिर्फ music videos किए हैं, आपने इतनी आपने acting करी है. So I said, नहीं होगा मुझसे, and he convinced me on the phone कि नहीं, एक बारी आओ और तुम audition दो एक और होगा तुमसे. And then he helped me through that audition. So, and then he sent it back again. So then Sudhir said, yeah, this is much better. Now send her to Bombay and I will take the next audition myself to confirm. And so then that's the first time I came to Mumbai. पहली बार मैं पहुंची was to give the third audition for Hazaaron.
But you come from an army background.
Yeah.
Were they okay with you taking up the job?
Yeah, absolutely. Matlab, I mean, if you're doing honest conversation, I'll tell you. So I was doing home science in college, right? So I thought I'll become a dietitian and I will study further. I had food and nutrition as my subject. So मुझे लगा कि कुछ, you know, आगे I'll study further, do whatever, BSc, this, that, जो भी होता है. Which was slightly expensive for me to go for these, for the college and do whatever else, you know, like, I mean, for an army officer, this is how much you can. The other reason was that my brother had decided to become a professional golfer.
Yes.
And Digvijay, right, my brother, right? So now golf is a very expensive game. So he had no sponsors at that time. And if you don't have a sponsor and you want to be a professional golfer in this country, it is very expensive.
Yeah.
So for an army officer to buy him like a 2 lakh rupee worth of just the golf set was really expensive, you know, and then he had to play tournaments, his travel. So at that point, I think I kind of felt that my dad, I mean, we just couldn't have managed all of this. So I said, okay. So that's when I got my first modeling stint. And I said, okay, you know, I got some $2,500-3,000 or something like that. I said, okay, why not? I'll make my own money, you know, that was a good feeling and I don't have to ask my father.
Yeah.
So, and for my brother, it was like passion, like golf was passion, you know. So, I mean, either you want to study, either it was all about passion. So I was like, theek hai, it's okay, you know, whatever, we'll see. So it was literally just that. And so one after the other, I kept getting some modeling assignment to the other. Kuch ne bola, bada intelligent face hai. I did a lot of computers. I still remember IBM software. I used to get ads like this because they said, "Haan, bada intelligence of face hai," and whatever. So that's how it actually started. It was pretty much because I wanted to make my own money at that point.
What was your childhood like then?
I was always a very quiet child. My brother was the one who, matlab, if anything went wrong anywhere, it was him who did it. It was literally that. So I think my parents already इतने ज़्यादा सताए हुए थे. Like they were like, oh my God, the minute they said, you're Digvijay's mother. Like, no, what did he do now? What did he do? So I was the quiet one. I was the good kid. I would never do anything wrong. And so I was like that.
Yeah. But what was the days? Do you miss them today? Do you look at them very fondly today?
Very much. I think army cantonments और भी ज़्यादा tight knit होते हैं, और भी ज़्यादा close होते हैं. Your friends, your community, so like closely knit, you know. So when we would go for these army mein picnics ka bada wo hai, you know, everybody would cook something, it'll be a potluck. You go out together for picnics. Sometimes, you know, we would have, I still remember, Meerut ke paas there is this lake, I'm forgetting the lake. So we would often go there with these inflatable boats, dinghy boats. So army, so like they would go and we would inflate and we would just like the whole day be there, and there'll be like dari shari bichha ke, whatever. So, you know, those were just very easy days, and I learned swimming in Meerut. So we would cycle every afternoon after school, swimming. वापस आते हुए बड़ी भूख लग रही है तो वहाँ पे काफी सारे अमरूद के पेड़ थे. You know, you would stop and do that. So these were just such amazing days and such amazing memories from childhood.
No, I can relate to you because I have a lot of friends who are army kids. And one thing that I have realized that when you grow up in an army cantonment, you really grow up without any kind of discrimination. Men and women specifically are treated very equally. But at the time when you shifted in the business, it used to be called very male dominated. When you came into the business, did you face any kind of discrimination at that point?
The good thing about being in the army is that everybody has the same, सबके घर एक जैसे हैं.
Yeah.
सब barracks में तो सब barracks में.
Yeah.
You know, if everybody is getting on that, वो एक 3-ton आती थी जिसमें बच्चे स्कूल जाते थे, तो सब उसी में जाते थे.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody had a cycle.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You cycle to the club, you cycle to the school, you cycle to the swimming pool. Everything is cycling.
Yeah.
And everybody pretty much had the same kind of money problems, you know. I mean, I remember my mother, and not just my mother, a lot of army wives have done this. Agar furniture nahi pahuncha hai, you know, if it hasn't reached and you've shifted, your boxes ke upar kuch laga ke, carpet, sharpet, make it look nice, put some cushions and all. We've done that, you know. So it's एक बड़ी amazing सी parity है with all the kids. So it is all about what else are you doing? It is not about what you have.
Yeah.
It's what you're doing in life, you know, which is such a it's such an amazing environment to grow up in for a child.
Yeah.
So definitely, and जब बाहर आते हो तो फिर it's about what you have, which is a big jhatka for a lot of army kids actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you ask them, they will all feel it. So yeah, वो थोड़ा लगता है कि, you know, like, oh, okay, this is about different things. It is not about the same things. I felt it, of course I did, and especially in the industry, definitely.
How did you deal with it then?
It's life, you know, it's different. It takes a while, but then you understand. I mean, I guess that is growing up, you know. I mean, you can't be a child all your life, so you have to grow up, and it has to be different. And my father told me this. It will be different. And this is life.
Yeah.
उनके शब्द बहुत ही simple हैं, but I understand now. Simple, this is life. And life, he also said life is not fair. That's the one thing he used to say. Life is not fair. Yeah. Which is so true. You know, I mean, kidhar, like, where? It's not fair for anybody. Yeah. It's not fair for the rich also at some point, how they feel. It's not. So yeah, I guess. Thoda lagta hai, but you grow up. Yeah. You're forced to grow up.
Yeah.
Right.
When you grow up in an environment like that, socio-political conversations are very common in regular days. Yeah. Was that also a reason why you were naturally attracted to Hazaaron?
Like I said, I told you how the audition happened.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, here I was doing music videos and I was doing these very small this thing, and I actually got refused for a very big brand of talcum powder because I wasn't fair enough. And it happened just about that time when I got this audition. So I was like a little, you know, you feel like you were not enough to get something. And then suddenly you get a film offer. Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is really nice if they think I'm good enough. And I saw how many people they had auditioned. So to be extremely honest, at that point, I just thought I wanted to do the film. Yeah. Like, why not? If I can be better than so many, like, why not? You know? At that point, that was the only thought. Aisa kuch nahi tha that I thought of Sudhir, or I thought of the script, or I thought of what Geeta Rao is. Nothing. Yeah. It was just came at such a time where I was feeling low about myself, and, you know, here it just made me feel very, like, you know, it's good for your self-image. Yeah. So yeah.
Before we move to the next question, I want to ask you, chai pasand karti hain aap?
बिल्कुल, मैं दिल्ली से हूँ.
अच्छा.
बिल्कुल चाय पसंद. I can see it here.
Let's pour some. You have any memories with tea? Something?
College.
Oh, tell me about it.
एक चाय पिलाती हूँ कैंटीन से. So that was one of the usual, you know, this thing कि, like, if you're with friends and you want to just chill. Delhi में जो winters होती थी, and I was in Lady Irwin. My college is Lady Irwin.
Yes.
So we used to sit outside, and पीछे कमानी auditorium है, and NSD भी वहीं पर है, National School of Drama. तो बहुत सारे वहाँ पे वो होते थे, plays होते थे कमानी में. तो जो हमारे पास टाइम होता था, या you know, if you were bunking college, so we would go outside. कमानी में एक बहुत अच्छी चाय मिलती थी. The canteen had very good tea. So we used to sit there, and I think 13 रुपए की ऐसे कुछ की राजमा चावल की प्लेट मिलती थी. And it was such good rajma chawal. Very good. So I remember chai, Kamani Auditorium, watching अंदर चल के play देखकर आ गए. So yeah.
No memories like over chai. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Yes.
Once in an interview, Anil Kapoor said that Amitabh Bachchan told him that don't take breaks while you're working as an actor. Okay. You did take a large break after 2005, immediately when people would expect you to do tons and tons of work out there. Do you regret that today?
I do. I regret it in the most, like if I look at it most objectively. But since we are not in isolation and we have people with us, we have families and we have other things. When I think of that, I feel like it just wouldn't have been possible because even if I would have tried to do well here, I would have messed up something else, somewhere else. And then the famous line for Jerry Maguire, if this is empty, this doesn't matter. It's a bit like that, you know, especially for an actor. You really have to, you know, kind of be together inside. So I think it was a bit of that. And I think I did the best I did in that moment. So it's good.
But you got so much acclaim back then, Chitrangda. I still remember watching that film and I still remember everybody talking about even Hazaaron and the performances that you've given. But when you were on that break, what was going on in your mind?
I never thought I'll come back. Never. I changed my number. I changed my phone number as well. So I was for good thinking that this is it. Married woman, you know, you're going to have a child and this is a good thing, you know. And you work at a good thing to keep it good, like going. So at that moment, absolutely. It wasn't like I was looking at work and going like, oh shit, I wish I should be doing this. No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen for the longest time till after I had my baby. And I think I started to, I mean, we were obviously going through a bit of a rough period at that point as well. So I guess you tend to go towards things that make you feel good about yourself. You tend to find something that keeps you excited. And so I was lucky enough to get a call around that time from On Air through somebody. And I quickly said yes. It just didn't matter what. It didn't matter. It was just, and I just wanted to work at that point.
I'm so glad you got that call.
I'm so glad I did. I know it's the best thing that could have happened really at that.
You know, Kevin Bacon once said, the American actor, he once said that, you know, however successful the actor is, everyone is waiting for that one phone call.
Absolutely. So well said, That's so true. We are such insecure beings, you have no idea. I think most creative people, insecure in the sense like you always feel like what I've done, the work I've done is not good enough and I need to do more. I need to do better work. I need to do more work. So very true. I've also, I can't completely be complaining because of the long breaks I've taken. I think I've still managed to do work which, you know, people have liked and remembered. So that way, I don't think I can complain much. But yes, I agree with Kevin. I want a phone call. Everybody's waiting for that phone call. I'm waiting for that phone call. All the time. Yes. But coming back to आपने जो बोला मुझे कि I started writing क्योंकि I wasn't getting work offered. No, what I meant to say in that interview probably was that there was a period where I wasn't doing, like I wasn't getting the kind of work I wanted to do, and so I wasn't working. So I started writing. That is the reason why I was writing. And luckily, I happened to find Sandeep Singh's biopic at around the same time, Surma. And I started writing that like a brief story, and it came out so good that then I started pitching it, you know, and said, why not? And I would want to produce it. So it literally was just by chance in that moment. Time was such, time tha. Bahut time tha. Plus it was so exciting. I thought, wow, this would be nice, you know? Yeah.
Are you writing anything now?
I have written a short film.
Oh, lovely.
Which, let's see, inshallah, if I can some point direct, it would be nice, So I've written a short.
On a day when you're not working, what are you doing? How does your normal day look like?
Very boring. What am I doing? Kuch khas nahi. I will chill, I'll watch TV. I watch a lot of news. I'm just somebody who likes to, so I'll flip a lot of movies, news channels. Watch movies, series. I'm watching Farzi right now. Whenever I get, I'm loving it, really enjoying it. After a long time, there was a series, which is so nice. So, itna. And a little bit of sports. Go out. I like to, sort of play a little bit of golf sometimes, maybe. Travel.
But sometimes to keep yourself also entertained, you have to be more than what your profession asks for. What do you do?
I write. So if you're asking that,
Yeah.
I would write. I also do some charcoal sketching. So if
Oh,
I really
amazing.
have like a nice dimag, itna garam nahi hai, it's like kind of easy, which doesn't happen very often. I used to sketch a lot pehle. I used to paint and all that. But yeah, charcoal sketching is something that I enjoy.
Is single parenting tough?
Honestly, we are not really doing single parenting. It is both of us take our own responsibilities. We are there for him, both of us. It's not really single in any which way at all. I think we've been very responsible. We've been very respectful of being parents, me being a mother and he being the father. I think we've been extremely respectful, and I think that's how it should be for the sake of the kid more than anybody else. I think it is that what is important.
Yeah.
Because it's just, so I think yes, I mean it's not been difficult, I have to say. I mean but what I'm saying is I'm not complaining at all. It has its challenges, of course, but no, I would give him a lot of credit as being an amazing father, and we do our best.
Wow. Also in our business, when you're working, you get a lot of opinions. Like you said, social media. Aajkal everybody is a critic. Everybody wants to tell everything to everyone. Yes, I remember you once said in an interview years ago that, not years ago, but some time back, you said that somebody also came and said, why are you doing item songs? Too much of noise. How to shut this?
I'll tell you what. So I as a person, and I can't talk for everybody else, I as a person actually know my faults. I know my mistakes. I know my shortcomings. So when a troller points it out, when he points out or she points out exactly what I think is off with either my performance or my look or who I am or what I am and where I am, it bothers me. Definitely. Because it's almost like somebody is just showing you a mirror, then listen, and just doing it in a very harsh way. Like, if somebody's out of shape, when somebody says, kya, la, 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 so I know that. And if he's just going to point it out and make it look so bad and put it on a public platform, it would affect me. Because we are out there, right? It is just, it's just that. But when a troller is just going off on something completely silly, nonsensical, making no sense, and just venting some pata nahi kya, like whatever,
Ghar ka jhagda.
Something like, or some weird thing, why aren't you back home doing what you're supposed to do, or some weird stuff like that, right? Acha kya karti ho yahan pe, humko pata hai heroines, and like some really ugly comments like that. Then I just feel sorry for them. Then I'm just like, sorry boss, I don't even think you should be in this century. You should be living in some other century. Then you just feel sad from where they come from. And I'm not being condescending at all when I'm saying this. It is, I understand not everybody lives the same life, but to just be so dismissive and be so ugly in your comments is not done. So that I very easily brush off. I don't have an issue with that at all.
No, you're right. Constructive feedback is always welcome, but when it
very
becomes
welcome.
personal.
And I'll tell you honestly, मुझे लगता है कि I mean, I understand like a lot of films get released, a lot of performances out there, actors, and a lot of times it's very constructive feedback. It is, and we can't just brush off everything saying trolling. It is not trolling. This is your audience trying to tell you what they want to see. This is your audience that you want to win over, who's telling you that I don't like this and I like this. So to just be like one hand for everybody is not fair. I'm all for constructive feedback. You don't like my performance, tell me. You don't like this, arey kya itna zyada masala, ye kyun dala hai, wo kya dala hai, whatever it is, I'm okay with it. As long as I know it's coming from a constructive, good feedback from my audience. Everything is not trolling. And I think we as creative people should be able to take that much of truth also at the same time. So I'm not somebody who just brushes off everything as a troll. Because it's not. It's a feedback.
I'm so glad you're saying that.
I really think so. And I'm sitting here and saying it, but I've been, seeing this trend for a while. Where anything wrong or anything bad or anything negative is, people are trolling me. And no, it's not a troll, it's a feedback of your audience who you're making your films for. So I respect it very much.
Sure. And as a producer, do you want to take that journey forward?
I'm not like a full-time producer, but I do
Yeah.
have the rights to a biography, very interesting biography of a 19-year-old guy, the youngest Paramveer Chakra winner in our country. His name is Yogendra Yadav, and he's, I think there are only 2 people who have received Paramveer Chakra in our country alive. Mostly it is given to people who
Posthumously.
lay their lives, for the country. So he, and there's another person who's about 80 years old. But this person, Yogendra Yadav has just retired. He was still serving in the army. He's the one who used to lead the Republic Day parade every year. And we don't know who he is, the person who's leading the parade every year and the youngest to win. So that's the film that I would want to put together next, yeah.
Oh wow, that's very exciting. What's the hurdle?
Scripting has just finished.
Acha.
We do have 2 actors who've shown a lot of interest in it. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
It's very important to get the scripting right, because otherwise it's another army film. So I
Yeah.
think we're just trying to crack it to be exciting enough.
Yeah.
This is about Tiger Hill, the action
Yes.
that happened in Tiger Hill and how important that was for the Kargil war.
Yes.
Because it was the highest peak, and I guess you know all that. So yeah, so that's the one.
Oh, can't wait. If today you get a chance to go back to the young girl who is doing Hazaaron Khwaishein,
Okay.
and you can give that debutant one piece of advice, what would that be?
Work harder, and don't take anything for granted.
Is that a complaint you have with yourself?
Yeah. I think I'm being honest, it came to me, but comparatively easier than a lot of people. So I don't think it was very easy for me to give it up back
Yeah.
then. When I gave it up, I was like, I don't care. But I think you should care for opportunities you get. It's
Yeah.
very important. You must value them, big, small. You must work hard at them. You should want it bad enough, you know. I think that's something I'd probably tell her. It's just like happy-go-lucky, okay, oh, wow, da, da, da. You can't be so flaky in life.
Yeah.
The earlier you learn it, the better it is, I think.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing, yeah.
But there's nothing more gracious also, Chitrangda, by knowing these things that about yourself and so vehemently. So congratulations for that. There's so much that I also learned from this interview. And let me tell you, when I told my team that, Chitrangda Singh has confirmed the interview, everybody sitting behind the camera was very excited.
Oh, hi.
So thank you for this opportunity. I had a great time. I hope you had a good
I
conversation.
did.
too.
I think this is one of the most interesting interviews I've done. It's so nice to somebody not just be looking down while you're answering the first question,
Yeah.
trying to figure out his second question, because that's what usually happens. But yeah, I really had a great time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, मैं हूँ चित्रांगदा on Baatein Unkahi, and if you like this interview, then please like and subscribe to Pinkvilla.